Hi my babies, and welcome back to my channel. So one of the things that has been um, at the forefront of my thinking these days is how we navigate boundaries with different people. And I know in the past I've talked about boundaries being attached to our manifestations and um, how those come from the spiritual down into the physical. And so I want to elaborate a little bit on boundaries with more of a statement so that we can kind of continue as we move on our journey knowing what is the core of why we're setting them. And so a lot of the reason why I feel it's difficult to set boundaries is because of the foundation of fear that's there. Fear of what the other person may perceive of you, fear of damaging a relationship, fear in all of these different ways. And so setting boundaries is actually the absolution of fear. So when you are considering whether to set a boundary, know that it is an act of you being fearless. And when you're considering it, another way to consider it is through the empowerment of, I know I'm not being fearful to be an advocate for myself, right? Sometimes I have this champion or this boxer or this coach in the back of my head that's I know we're not being scared. I know we're not being fearful to set a boundary, right? And I think that might be helpful for someone. Maybe you can kind of shift what is in your mind, because we have different people in our mind. We have different voices, right? And so the coach, the champion voice is going to get you into gear. So I would say, you can have that mindset of I know we're not stepping into fear over something that's going to set us up for success. And so, when I say boundaries are a form of the absolution of fear, if you don't put them up, then you're still living in the reality of other people's expectations of you versus what we get to experience here as reciprocal or balanced. And, at the end of the day, you answer to you, God, and the understandings that you have of this world. And so I do talk about childhood trauma and resistance. And I feel that, resistance from childhood trauma and family dynamics can look like, you feeling bad in these obscure ways about, choosing what you want to do, your choices, who you are as part of self-perception, and not fully deciding to remove people. When in fact, if you trust yourself, and when you trust yourself, if you feel that they're a threatening influence, you can make the decision that is in most advocacy to you, because they can be influenced from an impure heart. And what I mean by that is a heart that isn't fully being nurtured. So it's allowing for lower fear-based beings to come in and, do and say what and who. And then it's also a matter of they they respond a lot from ego, a lot from fear, which can be compromising to you who has higher intentions. And so another reason is they have done what they wanted to do through their own free will. And so to some degree, if they are karmic, operating in, those karmic spaces, and they haven't changed, then you're allowing them into your energetic field and into an opportunity to compromise what it is that you've been working towards, which is why in the past I've talked about like manifestations, but not even just what you're working towards, but as part of like clouding your intuition, when in reality the people who should be around you should feed that energy, that energetic set point that you like to be at, especially if you're an empath or someone who has a certain level of perceptivity to energy, because you need your intuition to express yourself fully. You need your intuition to make judicious and I don't want to say self-focused, self-important, well, and I think that implies arrogance, but self-centric decisions that are going to nurture you. Not self-centered, but self-centric, meaning of self-value. And so at some point it becomes a matter of what will be healthy versus unhealthy for the nourishment and the progress that you've made for yourself, versus where they are not open to nurturing that for their self. And so, yeah, I just wanted to elaborate a little bit more on boundaries from a place of excising fear and from a place of permission to make the decisions that will ultimately not only support you in your manifestations, but support the lifestyle and the connection that you have with Source, so that you can comprehensively trust not only Source, but trust yourself. But okay, guys, that was like my download for today. And so I just wanted to share that with you all. If you appreciated this guidance, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. More.